The Treasurer is playing down suggestions the coronavirus could be costing Australia's tourism industry up to $1 billion a month. Let's go live now to political reporter Eliza Edwards. Eliza, Josh Frydenberg says the exact figure hasn't been worked out. He wasn't willing to give a worst-case scenario, but he seems decidedly more pessimistic than he was just a week ago.
That's fair to say, Laura. While Josh Frydenberg wasn't willing to give the worst-case scenario, it has come from the Tourism Minister's office. That worst-case scenario figure being $1 billion a month, potentially that impact on our tourism sector. The ripple effect from the coronavirus is already being felt in our tourism and university sectors, which is reliant heavily on Chinese students coming to Australia. But Treasurer Josh Frydenberg says the exact figure is still being worked through by Treasury.
No, I don't. What they have told me is that it is actually too early to tell what the full impact will be. But going back to SARS in 2003, we saw a 9% drop in tourists in the months of 2003, but it did rebound after that. Likewise with students and likewise with trade. But again, since 2003, Laura, the number of foreign students from China to Australia have doubled. The number of tourists has increased by 7-fold, and the amount of Chinese investment in Australia has increased by 20-fold.
Laura, of course, there's been much talk about the coronavirus, the impact of the bushfires and the drought as well on the government's ability to deliver on that a highly anticipated promise of a surplus in the next budget. The Treasurer, of course, still remaining tight-lipped about whether that surplus is in jeopardy.
We've got the economic plan that's delivering more jobs, and will continue to invest in the areas most of need.
Are you back in black, though?
We've got a balanced budget for the first time in 11 years, as you know. The most recent numbers were announced in my EFA just before Christmas. They projected a surplus in 1920. That was obviously before the full extent of the fires had played out, and that was obviously before the virus was top of mind for anyone. So there are some factors out there, some events that are outside of our control.
And as the government grapples with the coronavirus, it's looking at other quarantine centres that could be used for Australians being evacuated from China. The concern that provinces other than Hubei will be shut down, forcing those mass evacuations, and also people coming off cruise ships as well. The government's contingency plan is to look at mining accommodation camps and hotels. Laura?